All right, well, what do you got for Central Michigan?
You know, they were a Final Four team at Nationals, and this surprised a lot of people, but I think they're overlooked because you got Grand Valley and Saginaw Valley, and, you know, they're just one of those teams that they've kind of started to build a little bit of a following, but they've got to keep working it. They got to keep building. They could really benefit by adding Valley to the end of their name.
That's the point I was going to make. It seems to me like the key to winning here is to having the word Valley at the end of your school's name.
And being in Michigan and having Valley at the end of your name could be the steroids of dodgeball.
It might be the key.
This could be the Valley era, you know.
So overall, just based on what we've seen for Central Michigan, very talented players. They obviously have a very good grasp of the fundamentals, and they really displayed those early on last season. It didn't really seem to take them a long time to get the dodgeball rolling, as it were.
Well, I think that you got to put a lot of that on their captain, Miles Potter. You know, he's a really great leader, really effective guy, and I think he gets in there. He teaches the kids well, you know, and he just gives them the no relation to Harry Potter, mind you,
obviously.
Or the wizard Josh Wiseman, for that matter. But worth noting that you know, they got out there early, as you said, you know, and had a good grasp of the fundamentals. And I think that's important that you can start, you know, your foundation that quick.
Okay, another honorable mention we have, possibly what might be considered, you know, the wild horse team this year is Delta. They've obviously had a little bit of trouble getting their act together, but they did have a win over Saginaw Valley last season.
You know, they're one of those teams. They're kind of like a Wigan Athletic in the Barclays Premier League in European soccer. You know, every once in a while they'll do something ridiculous, or like Burnley beating Manchester United. You've never heard of Burnley because you're from America.
Yeah, but everyone's heard of Manchester United.
Exactly. You know, this team Delta came out of nowhere last year and beat Saginaw Valley, and now, you know, they're on the verge of maybe even not fielding a team this year.
Who knows? Well, this is the part of the show that I personally don't like. This is where we might possibly be laying a team to rest. And no one likes this, but it happens. Henry Ford last year suffered, what would you call it?
I don't think massacre is a violent enough word.
I don't. A 16-0 loss against Saginaw Valley, and you know, a loss like that, well, especially against a team like Saginaw Valley, you wouldn't think like, you know, oh, it's just, you know, you're going to come back to it. But, I mean, it's a pretty crushing thing for your team when you can't score a point in the, you know, the whole game.
You know, I mean, that was a very Detroit Lions effort. You know, I mean, you go out there. I mean, I don't feel like that if you get beat 16-0 that you were even playing dodgeball. Mm-hmm. I feel like you may have came for a wiffle ball game. And unfortunately, somebody put it to you.
Yeah, understood.
But for what it's worth, you know, it was Saginaw Valley.
It was.
I mean, they are.
But like I said, regardless of who the loss is against, it's always crushing, even against a team that you're on the same level as. Especially in a game like this, where you get to, you know, be such good friends with everyone on your team, and because of how spaced out the games are, it really gets hard to tell how your team stacks up against someone else. So from practice, you might feel like you've got everything down pat, and then when you have a team show up and just mop, completely demolish you, which, I mean, it's happened to everybody. I can't think of a single team that hasn't had a crushing defeat at some point. I mean, but I mean, that one, the Henry Ford one, that was like that blimp, the Hindenburg, just,
you know, I mean, it seems like the dodgeball, see, like you said, the games are really spaced out. It seems like it moves along at almost like a Zeppelin sort of pace.
It does.
Just barely covering any ground, and then eventually, you know, you finally get to the point where you know, it all comes together for nationals, and you're playing teams that you've never seen before, that you've never even heard of. I mean.
Mm-hmm. And so while we're talking about Henry Ford, the two guys that started the team at Henry Ford were Chris Wright and Daniel Bartram, and they're currently working getting a team started at East Michigan.
East Michigan, I believe. No, they're not. I don't. You know, their mascot, I feel like maybe the Mustang. I'm not sure. If the Big Giant Head could check on that for us,
we'll figure that out. But best of luck to them, and anyone that's ever tried before knows how complicated it is to get people involved in the college dodgeball league. I think reactions range anywhere from people thinking it's some kind of practical joke towards, you know, I know when I saw the flyer for the team at Western, I thought that it was some kind of sick prank. And when I called the number on it, I'd be getting some kind of verbal harassment. So
I mean, what's final thoughts on Michigan dodgeball? I mean,
I'd have to sum it up. You know, it's the breadbasket. The biggest part of the league at least for this area, started out there. They've traditionally had the strongest teams. I don't know what they're putting in the water, what they're putting in the feed out there, but it's working.
I think that Michigan is where, like you said, it's the breadbasket. It's the womb of dodgeball. It's where the whole thing was born, and it's where it's all spread out from. I mean, we see. We're going to talk about teams out west in a minute. But everything's kind of fanned out from Michigan, which kind of leads, I guess, to the whole dominance of that state in the game. I mean, you got the top 2 teams are both Michigan schools, and I think that I don't know how long that trend of dominance will continue. But I think that for the time being, at least, Michigan's going to be the home of your college dodgeball champion.
Indeed, indeed. Well, it looks like from the teams that we have this year, we could have an interesting run for the win at the Nationals, and who knows, we might have any number of dark horse teams come out of the woodwork and do something impressive. So to everyone out there that's getting a team together or has a team together, let's do some work. Let's get it going.
Let's make Michigan proud.
Exactly.
Okay. Excellent job.
You held it together that time. I'm happy.
I think you only lost it once.
Actually. But I think I kept it quiet. I tried to laugh right here.
To bite down on the head.
Yeah, it was your use of green bean.
like a green bean in a bag of carrots.
He slipped in like a green bean in a bag of carrots. Oh,
green bean was such a challenging secret word.
Well, you said blimp, and I was thinking like team going down in flames. Hindenburg.
You said blimp. I was going to use the blimp. I had to use Zeppelin speed because you beat
took it away.
But once you use green bean, I wasn't going to try to jump back in on the green bean train. And I think using Zeppelin as opposed to green beans a bit of a cop out there. If you would have used dirigible, I would have given dirigible. It's a dirigible. Okay, skipping the issues section, going to the phone interview.
Yeah, look at you guys some headsets here.
Oh.
So you guys can be all professional.
Like Bluetooth.
Not that professional.
No, we're corded.
It'll be corded.
Speaking of corded, the womb reference? What's the womb reference?
The womb of college dodgeball.
It's going to be nice with these extras here.